recording is in progress. So, hey, we are here on Bodylynx. We have, do you like Drew instead of Andrew, Mr. Epps?
Dr- Drew is perfect, man. Thank you.
Oh gosh. We were just talking that Mr. Epps said he's from the South, so that's where all the mams come from. But as we can clearly see, it's also military. Hello. So that's like a double whammy on there with the ma'am and the sir.
Yes, yes, yes. You can't go wrong with it now.
So, where are you at? I see Army. What are you doing, sir?
Yeah, so I am active duty. I'm a major over at Fort Liberty, North Carolina,
Wow.
and really I focus more on the procurement acquisition, and really my functional area is contracting for the government.
Okay. All right now. I like that. And so how did you even find time to do our show?
It was a lot of looking at multiple calendars, asking my wife to make sure that was good first, because her and the kids come first, and then
Smart man.
the job comes second. But it was a bit of a challenge, but I was glad I was able to find a good window to be able to contribute to something to better myself, to kind of hit that next stage into my own personal growth.
Look at that. Okay, so we had you men's physique, right? I think it was novice, open, military, uh, did you do train? No, open, military, novice, and debut. It was first time, right?
Yes, ma'am. First time.
Yes. So how did it feel being up there for the first time?
Um, it felt really nervous at first backstage. But as we were all walking out there, it was like, it just quickly swept away, and it was just the excitement, the energy. Uh, it was almost like I was back home. I had played sports all my life. I played sports through college. Um, so being able to be in that competitive nature once again, my instincts, I guess you could say, kind of kicked in to kind
Ah.
of make myself more at home.
All right. And you said sports, you've played them. What sports, other sports have you done?
So up until high school, I did baseball, soccer, football, track, and then as you're starting to get your junior, senior year, it's like, okay, what do I want to do in college? And I settled on lacrosse, and then I played NCAA Division One lacrosse all 4 years for
Oh, wow.
Virginia Military Institute. So it was fun, but it definitely taught me how what a job could look like in my future, because it seemed like a job at sometimes. Just a very strict schedule. We have training, and you got to find time to eat, find time to do your schoolwork. We had games up in New York and Detroit, all the way down south to Jacksonville. So traveling and being out of the classroom, sometimes you had to grow up quick to be able to outline your calendar, as a 20, 18, 19, 21, 22 year old young adult, to be able to be successful.
I love it. So yes. So okay, so training for the show and doing your dieting and all of that, does that mean it was easy for you or how was that?
Uh, I like to consider myself a fat kid at heart. I love food. I love eating. It's one of, my top joys in life. So as we were prepping, loved food. Yeah, eat, grow. And then as we started getting closer to the cutting phase and getting closer to the show, it was definitely a little bit of a struggle. Obviously, as we previously talked about, I have a 9 to 5, so I get to work around 8 o'clock, and then when I get home, to be determined. It could be 5 o'clock at night, it could be 6:30, it could be 7, and then uh, my number one, I'll call this my number one job, is being a dad. So it's like getting home, seeing the kids, making sure they're good to go, making sure my wife, if she still has work to do, and doing that coordination piece. Um, so it was kind of hard to, okay, I know I need to eat this at this point in time. Can I eat and, essentially multitask? So I can't express my gratitude enough to her, because me being able to do that, and trying to find time to do that, she had to support me in multiple ways across. Like, look, I'll be home as soon as I can, and I gotta grab something to eat real quick, and then I'll be outside with the kids. Just having her support in my corner, because without that, I wouldn't have been able to remotely be close to where I wanted to be.
All right now, and what's this lovely lady's name?
Her name is Caitlin.
Ah, thank you, Caitlin. We appreciate you because yes, folks understand that it is an individual sport, but it usually takes like a whole lot of people. If you have like a spouse or things like that, then and the family, children, they are now part of it. It's
Yes,
no way that this like, oh well, I do this over here and they're over there. Like, no, no, it all mushes together. So
yes, it
I'm
is
so
one
glad.
giant world.
Yes, I'm so glad you had that support system behind you and that you were able to join us for the show. It's amazing. Do you
Yes,
have time to
ma'am.
be doing anything for 2025?
I have a couple plans. I was talking to my coach, John Rivas. He's out of Richmond, Virginia,
Okay.
with with uh, his program. So we do have some plans. We are talking about what the future is. Really for the near term, due to my job, I gotta I'm going to be traveling a lot. There's a lot going on. So we'll say for the better part or the beginning part of 2025, we're just going to keep on the same the off season, what he calls a rebound schedule, um, and continue to grow, fine tune our weak areas, and prepare for the next couple shows. But I expressed to him, and I'll express to you as well. I had so much fun. This is definitely something that I want to continue to do. Um,
Yay.
yes, the physical aspect is there, and we all like to look good, and it makes our so-called insides feel great. But really, it's just like that journey, that path, testing my mental ability, testing my spiritual ability, all that kind of coupled into uh, who I want to be as a person. It just makes me, what I always tell all my coworkers, and whether it be a supervisor or subordinate, is, yes, we're all in the army. Yes, we all, support the greatest nation, but our main goal in life should be to be great human beings, and you need to hit multiple aspects in life to be able to be a great human being. Because at one point in time, the uniform will come off. I will have to find something else to do. But me as a person will always be the one certain thing in life.
Mr. Epps, you said that beautifully. I love that.
I
I
promise. I
do.
promise it wasn't rehearsed.
No, that would have been one of the questions, that I would have asked or been looking for or searching for. And I say for everyone like who does this usually, I try to do the connection between being on stage and the things that you do outside. But I feel like you already have that, right? And it's the whole thing, right? It's all encompassing, right? Even the little things. But the fact, like you said, to be a great human being. How about that? Let's go with that mode for a minute. If each one of us tried to strive for that, how incredible that is. But I love that doing things like the bodybuilding and stuff like that kind of for most people, maybe not for you, but for most people, takes them out of their norm, right? Um, I'm sure this was not your norm either, but I feel like you could probably navigate through it a lot simpler only because of all the other structure that you have in your life, right? Like I'm
Yes.
saying that. I don't know if you're saying that, but that's what I'm saying. But for other people, right, maybe they have none. And so when they start to do this, it's like drudgery almost to get through it. And but then it finally kicks in and then they're like, hey, I can do this, right? And then they're like, wait, look at me. And then wait, I got an award for this? Like, who knew? Right? So I feel like hopefully that, like you said, helps them all become that whole better person altogether,
No,
whatever
absolutely.
their best is.
I 100% agree with you.
Cool. So did you make any friends, I hope, at the show?
Yes, yes, made friends. Um, all great human beings. Definitely keep in touch with them through social media every once in a while, and I am a firm believer that the world is very small, so I know in some form or fashion our paths will cross, whether that be on stage again somewhere else, or just you see someone in the airport, you're flying from one location to another. I mean, it's the world works in mysterious ways, but I definitely made some good friends, good connections. Um, it's always good to meet new people with similar backgrounds and similar thought processes. And then even if they're not similar, you can learn from someone else. You know,
Yes.
what did they do differently than you, or what did they focus on? So it was definitely great to meet a lot of people.
Cool. And so, how long have you been in the military? And thank you, by the way, for your service. How long have you been
Th-
doing this?
Thank you. So I am at 11 and a half years. So a lot of people ask, are you planning on doing 20? The I will say this: my one of my parents was in the military, so I was a dependent. I saw the opportunities that it provided me as a kid, as well as my sister. So as me and Caitlin had kids, it was less about what I wanted, and it was more about what opportunities can the military provide for the kids. Whether that be healthcare or opportunities to play sports or opportunities to move to new places or to different countries to learn, different cultures. So how long? As long as I'm still having fun and the kids are still being taken care of, that's really my timeline. But I am currently at 11 and a half years and loving it so far.
Looks so young. Oh my gosh. 11 and a half years. What? Seriously, you look young. And that's a good
Thank
thing.
you.
That's awesome. Right. So we got our schedule for going on. Oh, during the what did you say your coach calls it? Your roundup, your
The rebound phase.
rebound phase. In the rebound phase, are you allowed to eat? And I asked that because what did you have after the show? That's one of my favorite questions.
So I am both Caitlin and I. We love the beach. We love, we're both East Coast people. And our number one thing is crabs. So as soon as we got in the car and was heading back up to North Carolina, we found a nice seafood buffet, and I about ate as much crab legs as I possibly could, to the point to where I was like, I'm not comfortable. I'm gonna have to loosen the waistband and lean the seat back a little bit. Um, but up at this point, yes, I can eat. Um, I'm eating a lot of food. He actually just increased my diet plan, so we're small increases, so that way we're not, I'm sure a lot of people might have experienced like just a bad bulk up where you kind of balloon up.
Right.
And in talking to him, he's like, we're doing everything right so far. He can tell by my face, the face doesn't look
Yes.
too ballooned. So we're definitely I'm getting my cheat meal in, and that makes everything great because my wife's right there. She doesn't train competitive or anything, but she does work out. We Since the time that we were dating, we always loved working out. So she follows her own macros plan, but she does schedule her own little cheat day too. And then
All
the
right.
kids obviously love it too because then they get to eat pizza for dinner and not about what's in the refrigerator.
So it truly is a family affair for you. This is cool, pretty cool. I like it. I like it
Yes,
a lot.
100%. You know, I love her for her heart and her energy and her support, but I will say that I love her for her cooking. She does all the cooking in the house. She measures everything, tells me all the macros. She'll just send me a screenshot, and okay, I'm gonna eat steak and potatoes, or I'm gonna eat the ground turkey, or this, and all I gotta do is just find the picture that she sent me and upload it. So she makes my life incredibly easy. So
Oh, how
um,
nice.
it's definitely a family affair.
That is so cool. So I love that you get pictures and everything. Okay, you could have this, and it's gonna be this many macros, and you got this, and you got
Some
that's
people
pretty
say I'm
awesome.
pampered. I'll say that I'm extremely loved.
Yes. How about both? They
Yeah.
shouldn't be jealous. Don't
Oh
don't
no,
hate. Don't hate. Don't hate. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Hey, you can have that. Why not?
exactly.
That's
We
all
work
right.
hard for it.
Why not? And they are. I'm gonna say it. They're hating. That's okay. Because they too want somebody to be able to send them a picture. They're like, "Where's my picture? Nobody's sending me
Exactly
anything."
right.
Yes, we all have those little plus moments, and you go, "Yes, I feel pretty or I feel special," and that's yours. So there you go. It's not a problem.
Absolutely.
good work on both of your sides. So I'm just appreciative that you had time to talk with me today. I love to get the inside story, so people understand that more than likely that person on stage is not that many steps away from you. And we have had a couple people who were in the audience, and that gave them the encouragement to go and then be in the show the next year. So we're like, yes, let's start this trend. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. You never know until you try. Um,
Yeah.
and, and whether it's something for you or not, at least you can say you did something that was out of the norm that kind
Yes.
of pushed your own personal abilities of what you can and can't do, because you never know what you're capable
Yes.
of doing unless you try.
Exactly. That's the whole like concept, and that's the thing that gets me like riled about it is just that part of it, doing that part of it, and just if somebody's gonna have an addiction, right? How about it be like health and fitness, right? So I can see you
Absolutely.
compete when you're 90, right? And you still be doing your thing. Right? Like this
Absolutely.
ain't
Look,
nothing.
if I can do that, I'm doing life right at that point.
Right? So yes, we didn't have the breakdown before of our divisions like over 50, over 40, over 50, over 60. And actually a lady had asked us, she had contacted us like, well, do you have a category like for over 60? And we were like, we don't. And then me and Lorraine talked about it and we were like, why don't we?
Yeah.
Duh. All right. So yeah, so we definitely threw in the categories. We're like, yes, because listen, over 60 and competing, hello, that's amazing, right? That's like,
They
I'm sorry, what's that now?
I was gonna say they earn my utmost respect because, you know, to be able to do that, and then at that point you might have grandkids that you want to see, so life continues to grow and evolve, and your
Yes.
family continues to grow and evolve, and you only
Yes.
get more uh obligations as you get older, as we go through life. So that's definitely a long-term goal for me, is to be able to still do something that I love and do something that's fun.
Right.
um and health is a big thing. I want to be there to see my grandkids and great grandkids. So it's all kind of a way of life as well.
Yes, and be able to play with them, right? And have fun with them. Um, we
Absolutely.
had we had one competitor, she explained that she did it for her daughters. Because she's a very small petite lady. I remember her saying, and a lot of people were telling her what she could not do. And she didn't want that framework to be for her daughters. So I'm like, what, you may
I love
not
that.
think of it that way, but yeah, for your family and for your children, when they're coming through, like your dad did what now? Right? I'm sure they already look it up to you because I mean, look at the outfit, look at the military thing. But to have
I
different
mean, I
aspects.
enjoy, yes, and it's nothing quite like seeing the kids look up to you and having, you know, that you can see it in their eyes. I mean, it was nice to get the medals. I truly loved it. And then as soon as I got home, I was like, "Hey, look what Daddy got." And then, to be honest, I never saw them again. One's in one room, the others are in the other room, and they use them, and they like those are the kids now. So it's like
Oh, you
they
just want
love
them.
it. They
You
want them
just want
because
them. They're
it's a
theirs.
part of me. It's like they want that part. So I love it.
Yes. See? So it's so cool because it's like, so who's your role model? My dad, my mom, right? Very cool. Very cool. Yes, we can do it. Our little things that we do or things that we think are little are big, in someone else's eyes, but for your own children's eyes, that's got to be like incredible.
Yes, absolutely.
Makes your heart swell.
It really does. It's definitely a feel good.
Yeah. And we of course like having those moments. So we talked about what you're doing next, what you're doing now. Is there anything else that you would like to leave or anything you'd like to tell the folks out there? Any like little saying or phrase that you usually tell people like that helps you?
Um, the biggest piece of advice that I have ever received was, you don't know what you're capable of doing until you put the effort and you go out and try it. There's nothing wrong with trying something, after you try something, whether or not something is for you or not for you. And no one's gonna, you know, discount you for trying something. but some people will look at you differently if you don't try something, or you may feel internally that, oh, maybe I will fail at that. It's okay to fail. We're all human. Um, and failure not necessarily is a bad thing. It shows you what you need to work on. It shows you what you need to improve on, because when people get top spots or number ones, or they're considered the best in certain things, um, sometimes that drive kind of goes away. So it's more about the journey than really the positioning. So the best thing I can ever tell anyone is just to try it. And if you have your own internal support system, that's all that truly matters, is that they supported you, that they were there for you, um, in your highs and your lows. Um, and that's the best thing I can possibly say.
Definitely. I love it. Those are great words to put out there. So we're going to stalk. I mean, we're going to follow you, of course, in what you're doing. And then hopefully we can get back on here and do another interview. Um, and yeah, just your progress along your way of things that you're doing. And we were nosy. We want to know what's
Oh,
going on with
there's
you.
nothing wrong with that. And I'm glad to have you along the journey. And at the end of the day, we're just getting started, and the sky's the limit for what this may where this road may go. So I'm excited for the journey and to keep riding it as long as I possibly can.
All right now. I love it. Will you be safe, sir, and with whatever you're doing? I appreciate your time today, and we will do it again. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me, and you have a good week and a good rest of the time as well.